Our main character, Insoo, is first introduced at the start of the film. He is a young college student with a special talent. He can see ghosts moving around him. He wears a strange necklace all the time, and when a ghost comes, it starts to spin. Sadly, his classmates frequently taunt him and label him the ghost seer because of this paranormal talent. One day, while Insoo is on the subway, his locket malfunctions and alerts him to the presence of a ghost. In the bustling bustle of the train, he notices the ghost of a little girl. This makes Insoo uneasy, so he exits the metro right away. He quickly returns home and uses his locket to look around the room. Insoo initially discovers nothing and feels relieved, but then the locket begins to rotate, and he notices the ghost seated on his shoulders. It is seen that the ghosts do not approach Insoo to harm him in this instance. In reality, all they want is his assistance. She tells him where her corpse is since this specific spirit seems to have been murdered. She merely wants some comfort for her parents. Insoo is initially hesitant, but after considerable persuasion, he contacts the police and resolves the matter. Despite assisting the ghost with her request, Insoo is sick of using his talents. His only goals are to live a typical life and make friends. He chooses to drop out of school as a result and look for solutions in his hometown. He notifies his uncle Hikaru of his impending arrival. The latter makes an effort to discourage him by stressing that his studies are crucial, but Insoo seems unimpressed. The next scene finds him traveling back to his hometown when he spots Rose, a stunning young woman. Later, Insoo runs across his uncle, who also appears to be able to see ghosts. He is also a master exorcist with a reputation for sending ghosts to the afterlife. The following day, Insoo is accepted to his old school. Insoo feels he can start again here as the teacher introduces him to everyone. Unfortunately, some bullies see him and start harassing him right away. Hyunji, one of the bullies, even makes advances at him despite dating Hae-chul. Insoo notices a female ghost outside the classroom while this is all happening and is horrified. Hae-chul unexpectedly tackles him from behind later, while he's walking home from school and beats him up. Even though it was his girlfriend who was flirting, the bully cautions Insoo to avoid her. Then, by bringing up the instance of a particular H-young, Hae-chul threatens our boy. Years ago, she passed away in unexplained circumstances, and Insoo received repeated visits from her ghost. She constantly begged for assistance, but Insoo was never brave enough to accept it. This was a major factor in his decision to relocate to the city. One of the female bullies then enters the scene, returning home to find a polythene bag hanging on the front door. The polythene breaks when she tries to open it, and blood splashes all over her face. The bully calls her pals frantically out of fear, but the calls simply won't go through. The same masked ghost from previously attacks her and kills her in a split second after that. Insoo is later seen seated next to Rose, the same girl as previously. She is actually a ghost who passed away a long time ago. Insoo likes speaking with her nonetheless because she isn't as scary and nasty as the others. Wind suddenly picks up, and Rose alerts Insoo that the masked girl is close by. Our boy is startled by this and bolts from the area. The following day at school, Insoo gets upset and steps in to stop Hyunji from tormenting a boy in front of the entire class. He commands her to permanently halt the bullying. Insoo is about to be attacked by the other bullies, but Hyunji stops them. It seems like she's grown fond of him. Insoo and his uncle are watching the news in the evening when they come across a solved murder case, in which the perpetrator is finally caught after 10 years. He is discovered to be mask-wearing. Insoo notices this right away since he is reminded of the masked ghost he saw in school. He discusses her with his uncle in an effort to learn anything about her. The disguised girl's name is revealed to be Seihi at precisely that moment by a female spirit who seems to reside in the same home. A pair from the bullies gang enters the school covertly at night. They are come to retrieve the girl's phone, which one of the teachers had earlier taken. They do their work and then have fun in a classroom. The female then quickly exits the bathroom, leaving the youngster all alone. He is killed as he waits for her to come back by the startling appearance of the disguised ghost Seihi. Then, in the restroom stall, she approaches and kills the other bully as well. The murders shock the entire school the following day. Hyun-ji, in particular, seems upset as each of her friends is being attacked one after the other. Insoo is working to learn more about the masked ghost, Se-hee. He asks everyone in the class. But even though they are all aware of Se-hee, no one dares to bring her up. It seems that the bully gang played a role in her death. Later, when Insoo and Rose are having a good time together, he gets a message from a fellow student. In addition to a statement stating that she should no longer be questioned on Se-hee, she also includes a picture of Se-hee. Rose is then questioned by Insoo regarding Se-hee. The stunning ghost girl replies that everyone in the school is aware of how she passed away. After hearing this, Insoo realizes that the bully gang was to blame for Se-hee's passing. He approaches Hap-chul from behind in a fit of wrath, but the bully easily outmuscles him and beats him instead. Nevertheless, Insoo declares, Se-hee is coming for you all, sporting a devilish grin. Later, when the bullies are heading back home, Hyun-ji gives Hap-chul a picture of Se-hee's father and makes a connection between it and the killings of her classmates. She is certain that the old man is taking revenge on the bullies by killing them all one by one. Together, they resolve to go to Se-hee's house and murder her father when Chul accepts her theory. Hyun-ji informs Insoo of their intentions in a covert message before going there. The situation is explained to Insoo's uncle in the next scene after he receives the message. He hates the bullies, but he understands that their lives are in jeopardy. So, before it's too late, he decides to stop them. He receives a magical dagger from Hakaru, as well as a warning to exercise caution. On the other side, a constant thumping sound emanating from a box startles Chul and Hyun-ji as they enter the house. They simultaneously discover some vivid pictures of the deceased girl named Saad-hee. They now understand that Insoo was telling the truth when she said that Se-hee has definitely returned for vengeance. The bullies, who are terrified, attempt to flee, but at the same moment, Se-hee's father inexplicably emerges from the box and kills Hap-chul. Hyun-ji pleads for her life after witnessing her boyfriend's horrible death. Even so, she expresses regret for what she did in the past. Her remarks are ignored by the father, who then kills both of them. Insoo eventually shows up at the scene afterward. When he gets inside, he discovers his students on the floor, lying motionless. He also recognizes Se-hee's father, at which point he understands that the ghost of his daughter has taken control of him. Insoo detects a sound coming from a nearby closet as he is preparing to depart. He discovers Se-hee inside wearing her typical mask. She is revealed to be Rose when Insoo bravely removes her disguise. Then, in order to learn the truth, we are taken back in time. Se-hee was a vivacious student at the same school, but like the others, she suffered abuse from the bully group. She protested to the head teacher about Hyun-ji's bullying actions one day, when she had had enough. The teacher took the situation seriously and humiliated Hyun-ji in front of everyone. This infuriated the bully girl to the point where she made the decision to ruin Se-hee's life. The following day, Hyun-ji and her group began treating Se-hee like an animal. She was beaten, had her hair yanked, had it put on fire, and was even made to weak a mark. All of the kids in the class were present when it happened, but they kept quiet out of dread of suffering the same fate. Se-hee's life was negatively impacted by the ongoing torment, and she cried non-stop at home. Her worried father suggested she speak with the head teacher, but Se-hee declined, claiming that would only make matters worse. Then, one day, she did the unimaginable because she had had enough of the incessant abuse. Her spirit split into two individuals in the afterlife. The first is Rose, who is kind and constantly considerate of others, just like Se-hee in real life. The second character is the girl with the mask, who is on a mission to get rid of all of her tormentors. The names of all the victims have been crossed out in the diary that Insoo finds in the present, with the exception of the head teacher. This indicates that the murderous girl in a mask has not yet finished. Insoo, who is terrified, phones his uncle right once and asks him to travel to say he's home and perform the funeral rituals. He then makes his way to the school to save the principal. The head instructor is accosted by Se-hee's spirit in the following scenario when she is working by herself. Insoo arrives at the school shortly after and asks about the teacher right after. But nobody seems to have noticed her. Then, all of a sudden, the lights go out, and Se-hee emerges in front of them, wearing the body of the head instructor. She then unmasks herself and declares that since everyone ignored her when she was being bullied, they all ought to be punished. Insoo tries to stop her, but Se-hee snatches a lighter and drops it where the gasoline was previously flung. Currently, it seems as though every pupil will perish in a fiery death. The lighter is unexpectedly intercepted by Rose, Se-hee's alter ego, before it touches the earth. Following a horrifying dialogue between the two, Rose makes an effort to prevent her alternate self from hurting the students. Rose is easily swatted away by Se-hee, who is more stronger, and vanishes as a result. Hakaru, on the other hand, arrives at Se-hee's home and begins his paranormal technique. Se-hee starts to destroy everything in her path with her spiritual strength. On the other side, Insoo starts using the magical locket to look for anyone who Rose might be possessing. He advises the girl to stop doing anything when he sees the locket spinning around her and hands her the notepad he found in Se-hee's container. The scene cuts to a flashback where it is revealed that Insoo and Se-hee were pals when they were young. Even once, she had to defend him from the bullies. Insoo had drawn a picture of her in his journal, and they appeared to be in love. He apologizes to Rose's spirit for not recognizing her in the present. Hakaru successfully completes his mission on the other end, thanks to the diversion. The dagger in Insoo's pocket begins to shine, as the wretched girl's spirit is at last freed. As soon as Rose takes it out, she stabs herself, and a flashback of Insoo and Se-hee's happy memories follows. All of the pupils are seen grieving at Se-hee's grave in the closing scene. Also present is Insoo, who is holding a lovely drawing of his beloved Rose.